Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Hope everyone had a very happy holidays. And we are working on one of the more challenging parts of the van. So this is the wall panels for the install in the van. These are the ones that we are using from AVC RIG. So these panels are pre-cut, so they're CNC'd, they're labeled, and they are specific for a bunch of parts of the van. So if you guys are looking for a wall panel kit, this is not a sponsored video, but I wanted to show you what we're talking about. So if you go to avcrig.com and you go to the Transit 148 wall kit, so that's for a Ford Transit. So we're going to take a look at this. This is what we purchased for our customer. And one thing you can do, you can make your own panels, but again, there's this kind of cost benefit between the time you want to put into your van versus your skills. Now, I have the skills to make these panels, but time-wise, I need to get that time back so that they can have their van done by a certain time. So to buy back that time, we together will get these panels. It'll speed the process up, so we're not having to cut everything, measure, and stuff like that. So pretty normal. There are panels from AVC RIG, Titan Vans, DIY make some panels. But AVC RIG, the reason I chose these was because I think it's a very good price point. Two, I've actually met one of the owners at the Adventure Van Expo, and we did a whole video on these on a tour of his van. So for me, as a builder, I can go back to this video, I can check out how everything was laid out, and I'm just more comfortable going forward with a product like this, and the fact that I got to see it in real life. So that's a benefit to you guys as well. You might want to do the same thing if you guys are going out to shows, van shows throughout the year. That's a really good, so if you're not looking for specifically a builder and you have the intention for going out and doing a DIY, really pay attention when you're in the van, not just talking, meeting, builders and their products, but actually take some pictures, really look at the details, and think of how you would actually install these panels yourself. Put yourself in that mindset, and when you're there in the van and you have some questions, you'll be able to ask the person that's actually making the product or selling the product. And it makes going to a show just that better. So I'm going to zoom in here. So as you can see, these wall panels, these are bare wall panels. You can get this in an underlayment material, so just the basic 1/4 inch Luan type style, which is what we bought because I'm going to paint them and upholster them. So as far as the wood being used as something that we would stain or have as a feature, that's not what we're doing. They also make it in a Baltic birch panel, but that's an additional cost, which is for us not necessary, but for you might be something you want to look into if you're thinking of actually maybe staining these panels, doing a clear coat or something like that. Now again, the topic of this video is how to align the panels, but let's get familiar first with wall panels in general and why aligning a window to it is something that you're going to look forward to doing. So this is the panel kit that we put in the van, and you can see we have all raw panels, and that's what we start with. So these panels have a specific location. Because they have a specific location, that means when you cut out a window, the window has to match up to the back of the panel, and then you need to translate that cutout to the back of the panel and then cut the panel out, because the panel can't move and the window can't move. So you have to figure out how you're going to marry those two together, and it needs to be perfect, within 1/8 of an inch or better if you can. And sometimes that might be a scary thing to do if you've never done this before. But guess what? I have not done this with this panel kit, so you're along the ride with me. And that's why I hopped in the shop today, got on this live stream so that I can make a video showing you how I approached it, and then how I'm actually going to make this into something that I'm proud of building and it's nice and accurate. So there's the panels. We'll talk about this later during the build. We'll be covering all this throughout the build, but these metal pieces right here, these are just the angle supports. It helps you with the transition between the wall going vertical versus the horizontal when you have the intersection between the wall and the roof and the ceiling. So we have those. We're not putting those in yet because we need to figure out first. Oh, by the way, it comes in a really nice shipped box. So, all right, enough of that. That's what we're working with, just so you can get your kind of mind around it. Now look here. This is the panels, but they are upholstered and they have these window pill cutouts. So the window pill is a product that they also sell. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So what these window pills are designed to do is they take up the gap, this difference between the wall panel and the window. If you guys were watching the video on the Adventure Wagon install, those were thermoformed panels and they give you the bump out space. But because of the orientation that this customer wants to sleep in the van, we're not doing bump outs because we want the long kind of north to south sleeping versus east to west. Now the benefit of a north to south sleeping arrangement is you can add much more insulation in the wall and you get just a much better comfort level in my opinion because you're adding more insulation in the van. It's just easier to heat and cool. As you can imagine, this chamber is filled up with insulation versus if you had the bump outs, there's a very thin layer of insulation and might not be as efficient insulative wise. So this space right here is what the window pill is designed to make up the difference. So it'll make the transition between your bunk window and the wall possible. So that's what we're doing today. So we have two of these. We've already set it up in the van. We've measured. We've found out our spacing, and I'm going to go through the whole process to show you how I got to where I am right now. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys. Oh, by the way, when you get these, you see how it says CRL VW1033 and AW1033. So that's very important. The VW is the vent window that you see in this photo. So it just slides open, slides shut. As you guys know, I'm a fan of the awning style windows. So we're going to be using the AW1033 window. So this is the awning style window. So when this window opens up, we have an awning that comes out so that when it's raining, the water can shed off of here, but you still get the ventilation. It also has a bug screen, but I've taken that out. All right, so what we're going to do is, let's see here. So let's go to, all right, let's go over here to the table. So this is our window vent that I just showed you. And what this window pill does is this will go over the window. You guys can see that. So it goes over like that, and it, there we go. So it's going to go over the window frame, create that difference. But here's the challenge. How, and what this video is on, how do you align this to the window and then align it to the panel so that you can cut it out? So I'm going to try to draw that for you guys and show you how I did it. So if we look on the side of the van, we're going to draw So this is the side of the van. Okay, there's the front. And we need to put a window right here. Now, I know this is not the specific spot. So there's the window, and then in orange here, let's say that this is our wall panel. So the wall panel is going to be fixed. We can't do anything about it. The window is probably going to be in a fixed location. So if you watched my last video, there was these center ribs that I wanted to make sure that the window was centered in. So that is how we found our window. Let me just go to it. You guys may not have seen the other video. So check this video out. This one's called Install Your CRL AWB 1033 Windows the Right Way. So this is how I show you how I put the window in the van, and then why it's important to make sure there's a nice clear offset at the top of at least 1/8 of an inch, so that when we upholster this foam pill or window pill, that we have enough room to pop it around the window frame. So what I did here is I put the window in, I put my window frame in, I put the foam window pill on here, and then I taped everything into place. The next step is I took the whole entire wall panel and I laid the wall panel on top of the window. Let me back up. So I removed the window so that I could actually draw on the inside. Here, let's see. I wish I would have taken a time lapse of it. I had a lot of back and forth, so that's why I'm making this video, because that way you guys won't have to go through the hassle that I went through. Not hassle, it's just mainly how to, it's just part of building a van. So we're looking at a side profile of the van. Let's just say this is the tire. Okay, this is the wheel well. So we're going from the back of the van. This is the outside of the van, and then this is the inside of the van. So in the van, you're going to have a piece of sheet metal. Then you're going to have some support members that come out like this. Your window is going to be located here. And I know it doesn't pop out. I just want to make something so you guys can see what's going on. So this is your window. This next part right here is your window frame. Not the window pill, but the window frame of the CRL awning window. And then last, we're going to have this foam window pill that goes like this. Now this is a cutaway side view, this looks really weird to you guys. So that's our foam. The pink is our foam window pill. There we go, there's mine. So there's our foam. The orange is the metal for the CRL to hold it in, and then the blue is the actual glass awning window. Next, what we have is we've got the van panel itself. So let's make that green. So the van panel comes here like this. And what I did is I took the window out. So I took this window out. So let's represent that by erasing this. So I took the window out, and then I took a marker, or a permanent marker, and I went through and I I traced that inner part of the wood. So I traced the inner part of the wood. So if you go back here, what I did is I went into the window and I took a marker and I went all the way through here. And I traced the inside of the window, just like that. When I was done tracing the window, I then I took this panel off. So I unbolted this panel. So by bolting the panel in place first and then tracing it second, I'm able to lock in exactly where the window is. And then, so if you can imagine this panel, so this panel is in the van. There you go. And imagine that this is up against the wall. And so I took the panel and then I temporarily bolted it to the wall. And then I went into here and I traced. And I went into here and I traced out the cutout. That way, this was taped in place, this was not moving. And when I removed this panel, what I was left with is this tracing. So this is what has been traced out. So all I have to do is drill, jigsaw this out, and now this will be a perfect copy of where my window cutout is. And then all I have to do, once I upholster this panel and upholster this, you can see that these window pills, what I've done is I've taped them together. They're eventually going to be glued together. One side has this wood side, that's the hard, rigid side, and then you have the foam. So this hard, rigid side is what we're going to drill into. So for example, if we go back to this, you see how they have these screws? So these screws are going through the wall panel, and then they're going into that wood, that outer piece of wood on the foam to bolt it together. It's not necessary to do that on the opposite side. So the reason that this is only wood on one side and then foam, because this foam is just going to, I'm going to put some, just a little bit light piece of adhesive, and I'm going to adhere that to the serial window frame after I upholster this. Actually, take that back. I'm upholstering this, so my point is it won't be necessary because this panel is going to push against this into the window frame. And so that pressure is going to be there forever. It's not going to be able to come out because it's not possible. One thing you do want to make sure is you put some marks here so that your orientation of this is perfect. I'm not saying that these window pills are not perfect because they're probably CNC'd machined, but I did notice that one side was a little bit thicker than the other, just by like 1/8 of an inch. So you don't want to do this, measure your hole cutout, and then install it like this. You don't want to do that. So once you have this on here, everything's pretty much mapped out for you. The last step is to actually cut out the hole. So we're going to cut out this hole, and then I'll show you what it looks like. But the reason I say this is probably the most challenging part of a van is you have to meet up the window with the van panel. Once I do this, the other side just kind of copy paste, and it'll be much easier. The challenge, like I said, is just because this is a CNC cut and it's made to go in a specific location. So this is actually butting up to other panels. So if I mess this up, I can't shift this backwards or forwards or up or down because there's other panels resting against this. All right, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to show you. Well, before we cut our hole and keep going with this video, that's pretty much the core part of the video. Next, I'm just going to be cutting this out. But when we do get to the upholstery of this, this is going to be an interesting piece to upholster because it's not going to be our typical way that we do it. So let me get some fabric. So typically when I upholster something, or you guys have seen on the channel, I'll lay the piece of upholstery out, I'll lay my piece on it, I'll measure everything out, and then I'll fold this around to get it to where I want it to. So this one you have to think opposite. So we're not upholstering this face and this face. The reveal is going to be the inside of this. So you got to think differently. How do I upholster the inside? So you have to pretty much take back anything you've learned from me on the upholstery, because we have to do this completely opposite. So we'll be going on the inside like this. Think of like a U shape. So we're going to be taking the material okay, and we're going to be doing something like this. So we're going to have this flat, and then the front face is actually what's going to be rounded over like that. And then that way it'll be rounded over here and the back side. And we don't really care what happens down here. We'll make it, neat as we always do. But we're going to wrap it around like that. And then this is the face that's going to mount up to the back of the panel, which will also be upholstered. And so once those two faces meet, this is what gets screwed into. Now obviously I flipped this the wrong way. This is would be the wood side. And then what we're going to do for our seam is we'll cut this off. We'll fold this back, maybe like an inch, like that. I'll probably iron it. And then that lip right there is going to go on the top. We want it on the top because when you're laying in bed, you'll see the sides and the bottom, but this top right here will be concealed. And even when we get to the top and we fold it over like that, this seam you won't see because the wall panel is going to cover the top of it. So this should upholster really nice. I'm curious, I have upholstered over foam before, but this rigid foam, we'll see how it reacts. We need to glue this first, but I'll show you an example. So you see how this is a perfect flat surface? And then this, the CNC machine, see how it's not perfect? But the inside is. So see how the inside, so that inside face is clean and this bottom is clean. That's all we care about. Don't worry about this. You'll never see this. It'll be hidden behind the panel. Just make sure that this surface and this top surface and the sides are nice and flush. Because the only thickness you'll have to make up for anything is whatever type of fabric you're using. All right, so we are going to, we'll upholster this and this probably in a separate video. That's my coffee maker. And right now what I want to do is drill and cut this out just to show you, what it looks like. Then hopefully you guys have some questions, whether you're watching it live right now or later this afternoon. But I'll probably end with just cutting this out and then showing you the example before it actually gets upholstered. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trusty brake caliper counterweights. I love using them. Just an easy way to have a second pair of hands. Plus I got to paint the panel, I got to upholster the panel and then drill everything. I might be able to do a live stream this afternoon when I have all that done. That's my goal today, is to just get this knocked out. We've got good news. So Thursday, we will be getting our Nomadic 48 volt rooftop AC unit delivered. And it's pretty exciting because I believe we are going to be one of the first deliveries of this unit. I've been really trying to get on the list as far as being the first one to get it. And I got a call today from the shipping company asking me if I'm going to be at the shop Thursday, and I said, absolutely. So that's going to be exciting because we are pairing that up with the 48 volt EcoFlow 5 kilowatt hour system for this van. And so if I get these 2 panels done today, that'll be a big check off before we actually start to do cutting holes out of the roof, as well as our other window that we got to cut out on the other side. Yeah, so let's go ahead and I'll show you how to cut this out, which is, it's pretty simple. All we're going to do is we'll drill a pilot hole so that we can fit our jigsaw blade in there, and then we're going to follow right on the line. So we don't want to go outside of the line, we want to go right on the line, and that's going to allow us to make sure that we have the same difference when we overlap our upholstery on this panel and when we overlap it on that, because we want to keep that the same so there's not a ridge that we have to deal with later. Also, we don't want to make this hole too big because they're going to have a weird ridge where you'll see that window box and this will be cut out more. So when you go to trace this, visualize when you're tracing as if you're taking the saw blade and cutting it out. You want to just make sure that this line is even to that. Yeah, so I'm going to mute my mic really quick because it's probably going to be crazy loud, and then I'll be back. Okay, we just cut the hole out. Now, if you're worried about making a straight line, you could use, a track saw for the straight parts. I've just used a jigsaw forever. That I've got pretty good with making extremely straight lines. But this is the. Let's get this in the right orientation since we have a second. All right, so this is how it goes in the van. Can I creatively do this? Okay, maybe not. Is that too high for the camera? All right, let's check this out. All right, so here's our panel. This is what goes on the driver's side. So this is the back of the van, where the van doors are. This side is where that weird notch is on the Ford Transit. So now we have our window cutout. And if you can imagine, what we'll have next is we will have our window frame. And this will screw on this one just like that. And this is a good time to check to see if you made any mistakes and get this all lined up. But if you guys can see, this is how this is going to be put in the van. And then behind here, we'll have our window. So the behind the scenes will look like this. So this is what the back of the panel will look like. Now, my opinion is you don't want to, I wouldn't pre-drill this to the panel or glue this to the panel. I would upholster the panel separately. I would upholster this window pill separately, because this window pill is going to go into the window around it, upholstered, and then you want to lay this panel down. You want to be able to probably adjust this just a little bit to make sure it's where you want it, because not only in a van are you working with this, but this panel is going to be actually curved. So in a Ford Transit, this panel is not going to be like this. This panel is going to be more curved this way. And so that curve is going to, this window pill will be probably at a slight angle at first. And then when you form the panel, when you bolt the rest of the panel into the van wall, it's going to conform, and then it's going to push against the foam piece. So that's just, that is just my recommendation. All right, so that's what we're doing here. We're going to, I'm going to sand this. I'm going to go ahead and sand, paint, upholster both pieces. Then I'm going to go and actually in the van, so let's turn this over here. So I'll go back over here and I'll install the window. I'll do a final install. So I'll go ahead and put the window in. I'll drill and tap. Well, I've already drilled and tapped the holes for the window, so it's just going to bolt right into place. I'll Loctite all those screws, and that window will be there in its final position. We'll upholster the window peel. We'll pop that in, and then what we'll do is we'll get ready to put this van panel in, and then we'll just copy it on the other side of the van. So yeah, check out this video, go back through. You can kind of see, actually while we're here, I'm going to use the, let's use this blue color. This is where we're wanting to bolt into the window peel frame. AVC RIG has bolt hole locations here, and then down here and along the sides we're going to, we'll do a self-tapping sheet metal screw to get this bolted in. But remember, this wall, I drew it straight, but it's actually, you know, it's more of a curve in the van. It's not perfectly straight. So that's why you'll need this, this panel is probably going to be like this. And so it's going to be harder for, I know I exaggerated it, but if you pre-do it to the window, it might not line up here. That's why I say don't have the window peel and the wall pre-connected. I would do it separately. All right, that is my take today on that. So thank you guys for joining me in the shop. I wanted to talk to you guys about one more thing, and that is the DIY van build cheat sheet. So if you guys are looking for a list of items that are in categories, nicely curated, parts for your van, that are also from Amazon, this is your list. So what I've done is I have put together an Excel sheet. I've organized it with over 250 of the products that I've personally bought from Amazon over the last 3 years. So we have like cargo, storage, electrical. These all come with the Amazon links. And what's nice is you can go through here. You can do, Control F and type in, let's say, water pump. And then you just go through and you can pull up anything. Let me type in water pump, come on. There we go. So you can look up this one, which is the Seaflow water pump that I use in vans. You can go over here to the link, hover over it. It's going to show you the pump. And it's just a quick way to see all the stuff that I've bought, but I really think it's going to help you guys look at parts or find parts easier. So if you've never bought parts for a van and you're wondering what I buy, this is a quick go-to for that. The best part is it's completely free. Not only that is we're always adding to it. One of the best parts about this list, or my favorite part, is the tools. So these are tools that I use during the van builds in the shop every day. All kinds of tools. So those are also on the list. And all you have to do is just go to vanbuilderhq.com or click on the link in the description below and just enter your name and email address. It'll come right to your inbox. It's completely free, and I think it'll really help you out with your DIY van build. So check it out, the DIY van build cheat sheet. Also, quick mention of Odyssey Custom Vans. I can't even say the name right today. Odyssey Custom Vans. This is my custom van conversion business, and the van behind us, as well as this new one that we're building for a customer, is my business, Odyssey Custom Vans. We have been working on this adventure van based on the Adventure Wagon interior system. It's an all-wheel drive Ford Transit with the EcoBoost, which is the turbocharged V6. If you guys want to do a quick walkthrough, a video walkthrough, we took it to Adventure Van Expo this year in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and people loved it. It was awesome. I loved hearing the feedback from everybody. at the show. It was really exciting to actually get the van out there so everybody could see it. Subscribers of the channel actually came out. We got to say hi, hang out for a little bit. Really, really cool. So all the Adventure Van Expos throughout the US, I really would tell you guys, if you can go to one, hit up one throughout the year. On the East Coast, the Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then the Boston show is, those are probably the two of the closest ones you're going to get to. But if you do get a chance to go out west, for example, this video, where is it, that we went and saw AVC RIG, we went to Colorado. So we filmed this video in Colorado at the Adventure Van Expo show there, and it was great to see all the rigs out there. It was really cool. But yeah, check out this van. This van is currently for sale as of posting of this video. We have all the highlights of the van, the power system, the interior that you can check out on the website, as well as a couple of preliminary van photos. And I say that because we are getting ready to do a final video walkthrough of the whole entire van in the future. We still have to knock out this back end. But yeah, it is close to being completely done. So before it is finalized, you guys can check it out here with these photos. And if you are interested in purchasing it, there is still time to make a couple modifications as of filming this video. So if you want to get in touch with me, come over, check out the van. You can contact me at sales@odysseycustomvans.com. Also, you can call me on my office line right there. The easiest way is to click on this link and schedule a phone consultation. That way you can get right on my calendar. All you got to do is go to the link, click on a date, select a time that works best for you, and it'll pop up on my calendar and we can hop on a phone call. If you're not interested in purchasing the van, but you would like to have your own custom conversion van done, over here on the left are a couple steps to get ready for an online over the phone consultation. It'll tell you the steps of what we do to begin to work with you, and you do the same process. Go to the calendar, select a date that works best for you, and yeah, we can talk about your future van conversion. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this live stream today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. This is just the beginning of this process. When I get this painted, upholstered, and in the van, you'll actually see the next steps. But anytime I'm in the shop and I think something's helpful, I just hop on a live stream, and I think it would really help you guys out. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed to Van Builder HQ. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If this is helpful and you have somebody that is working on a DIY van, share this link to them so they can see all the other videos that we have on this channel. We've got a ton. We've got Adventure Van Expos, we've got van tours, a lot of shop builds and how-tos. Also, don't forget to check out let me pull it up here, vanbuilderhq.com. So we just added a bunch more blogs on here. They're going over everything from choosing the best camper van inverter, best heaters for camper vans, which Ford Transit is the best camper van conversion. And so all of these articles go into a deep dive for everything that we're talking about. One that's really good, the true cost of a van conversion. So in this one, we go through a bunch of items all throughout the van, whether it's talking about the electrical system, insulation, heating, water, plumbing systems. We'll talk about some key takeaways, and then we go through and we've got a ton of photos for you guys. So you guys can check out professional build photos. You can look at the difference between low, medium, and high roof. Some type of comparison. This is basically a very easy visual comparison to see what the main difference is in each one of these vans. So I'll talk a little bit about that. I also go over the electrical system and talk about what you can expect to spend on certain types of power systems, insulation in the van, what it is, why it's important, different types, cost on that, heating and cooling. There's all kinds of different heating and cooling options, just stuff to consider. Rooftop ACs, water systems, interior vans, such as kitchenette options, whether you want to do your own DIY or you can build some buy some pre-built units. Might be interesting. Camper van lighting, bathrooms, as well as storage options. And then we'll talk about we talk about budgeting for your van, upfront costs, ongoing expenses, and then do a little wrap up for you. And then also, we got the link to the cheat sheet in those blog posts as well. So there's a ton of articles here that I'd love for you guys to click on, read, get some more information on the whole DIY van building world. But yeah, those are there for you guys to go to, get some help. If you have any questions on those, definitely hop back over to YouTube, go into the comments, and ask me a question. We can turn it into a future live stream, which is usually what I do. But until next time, I will see you guys on the next live stream.